the good that I do is not in pursuit of love. The good that I do is, in fact, in gratitude for what has already been given to me as birthright. God is a God of love. We as human beings are not necessarily always attuned to God's love, and not always attuned to the fact that what we are created for is to be loving beings, to be expressions of love. We are created out of God's love to be expressions of love. And so very often, we act in ways that are absolutely counter to the path of love. We act in ways that are counter to the path of love in small ways and in large ways. So the way in which we're ravaging our planet would be one example of actions counter to love. The fact of war, the fact of rape and incest and child abuse, the fact of kind of all of the criminality that we see in the world, the fact of abuse of workers, the fact that we have refugees, both internally and sort of dispersed throughout the world. All of those are examples of how far short we fall of living out of that sense of being loved first and foremost, and being lovable because we are loved. And B, the sense that all other beings are also loved, beloved, created out of love, and are expressions of God's creative love. And so we act in ways that diminish one another, that we treat creation as being less than it actually is.
You mentioned knowing that we're lovable because we're loved by creation, we're loved by God. And I know you co-wrote with your father, Made for Goodness. And yet I think so many of us at some level don't feel lovable. Something in us is like, really? Something that happened early in our life. We formulated this belief. There's something inherently, truth be told, if you get underneath it all, there's something wrong with me. How in your teaching and in your preaching, can you help people open up to that sense of being unconditionally loved?
It's simple, and because it's simple, it's really difficult, as simple things want to be. We tend to get it twisted. We think that our task is to work to be deserving of love. To be deserving of God's love, to be deserving of the love of those around us. But it kind of begins with that notion that we have to do something to earn or deserve God's love. And if we get it right, and then we understand that we can do nothing to earn or deserve God's love, we have it. It's a free gift. That just came with the package. We got delivered into God's love. That was it just is. And our task in life is to live as beloved people, as to live our gratitude for that love. But as you say, it's really hard to get into ourselves the reality that we are beloved. And for so many people, experience in the world challenges that from the word go. They came into the world as a result of unhealthy relationships. All they have experienced in life has been hardship and distress. And so it's really an uphill battle to be able to claim that actually I am beloved and I am deserving of all the joy that comes to me because I am beloved. And the good that I do is not in pursuit of love. The good that I do is, in fact, in gratitude for what has already been given to me as birthright. And in my preaching, that is something that I say and I emphasize over and over and over again, that each of us has as birthright God's love, and that we are called to act as those who know themselves to be loved. I was over the weekend with some friends, relatives of well, actually my relatives, because they're relatives of my wife, but it was a couple, you know, kind of older than me, and the thing that I loved, or I, you know, thoroughly enjoyed about watching their interaction was just how evident it was that this man just loved his wife, and how radiant, you know, just she just seemed to be like a flower open in the presence of this man who so obviously loved her. And the thing is that when you're so obviously loved, you come at life from a different direction. You come at life with the expectation that what I am doing doesn't decide whether or not this person is going to love me. And so I can, you know, I do the loving thing just naturally, just easily. That's just what I step into. And I think that if we as a world ever got even a hint of the incredible love with which God loves us, we would be living in such a different world than we do now. We would know that we have access to so much more than we think we do. That we have no need to hold on with clenched fists to the good that we have. That we would know that there is infinite love available for all of us, and that that we would be able to pass on that infinite love to one another.